I'm about to put the political in this politically correct comedy show. So, jokes. A black person, a Middle Eastern person, and an East Asian person get into a fight. Who do you think will win? Racism. You thought I was gonna get up here and tell racist jokes, right? Yeah, no, we're not playing that game. What I'm here to talk to you about is jokes. That's what we're doing today, is jokes. We're gonna unpack some jokes. Somebody thinks I'm very funny. Great. Keep giggling. All right. So I was thinking about this joke because I grew up in a very white, very conservative environment in a small town in Hungary. I know my accent is very Hungarian, I've been told. So it's very thick. It's very it's hard to understand me. Anyway, so I grew up in Hungary, and I used to love to tell this joke because I was very obnoxious, and it made people feel bad about their racism. Nothing? I was the best. Oh God, guys, let's take a walk together. All right. Yeah, so I used to love to tell the joke, and the thing about this joke, it's not what you think it is. Just like. And I was following this logic, like joke, it's supposed to make people feel good. It's not quite what you would expect it to be. So what I thought of is that my favorite joke now is Hungary. You see, let me unpack this. Hungary is, our history is very, oh my God. We got this. Shake it up. So, in school, we're taught that a nation, what it means is that there is a group of people that's connected by a common culture, language, and history. Now, we're gonna explore these topics together. First is the language. This is like a very, very big point of pride for Hungarians because nobody understands us. We love it. Our favorite pastime activity is to talk about strangers in public in foreign countries. The loudest people you'll see in the street, people think it's Americans, and they're loud, but not as loud as Hungarians in a foreign country. Yeah. What was I gonna say about language? My other favorite thing about Hungarian language is that we want to protect it like a special little snowflake in the middle of Europe. Because Lord forbid that we get other languages to influence it, because then people might understand us. Because like you see, a lot of you speak German here probably. And what you do is really, really amazing thing in German, that you just insert English into German, like Witze sind so unhip. Or gehen wir am Brunchen am Sonntag? Or ja, es war so abgefuckt. I love it because I still cringe a little bit inside because I still have this in me, like, no, you're not supposed to mix the languages. And like the thing is that I don't even have a emotional connection to German. Like to German, I would be very concerned for that person. Like, are you feeling all right? Yeah, another topic that, oh yeah, I forgot, there was one other thing I really, really like about Hungarian, is there's no gender linguistically. So there's like in English is he, she, in German you have all the daddy does. Never bothered to learn that. So there's a lot of like gender going around, and I as a non-binary person, I very, very much appreciate it when you just talk about a person, it's just a person. It's great, because that's what they are, a person. Woo. Yes, people! We got you. All right. So yeah, it makes it very easy when you're talking about your queer partner, same gender partner, to your homophobic grandparents, because they don't know shit. It's great. It's true. You like that one. All right. The next topic was history. And now this is like a little big. We've been around for a while. And I just like to look at my palm. Nice grounding thing. Yeah, so our history, you know that saying that history is written by the winners? Hungary never won anything. Nothing. So Hungary is just like, history just sort of happened to us. And we're just like, just wash it over us. And yeah, so Hungarian history is something that it isn't. We've been led to believe that it's something that it isn't. Now, let me take you back to the beginning. One of the beginnings, actually, because Hungary has an identity crisis. We don't know where we came from. I'm going to tell you the most widely accepted theory there is out there, at least a part of it, until I can make jokes about it. And then you can Google the rest. It gets very confusing. So, Hungarians came from the Uralic Mountains, which is kind of like a natural border between Asia and Europe. And they're just kind of like hanging out there, you know, mingling. And they weren't really Hungarians, they were just like a group of people, basically. And one day they just kind of got this like, let's conquer other places, bud. And they just up and went, across the mountain. And then they were like, some people were like, guys, I think we should go that way. And then some people were like, I think we should go that way. So then they split, like sometimes you would do in the middle of the night when some of your friends want to go to karaoke night in Marietta, and the other want to go to G-Spot because there's free shots. You just drunkenly abandon each other in the middle of the fucking night like nothing. Your friendship meant nothing. I'm not bitter. Yeah, so that was kind of happening, and this is where things get a little bit weird. You see, our history is practically a fairy tale presented as fact. I'm not kidding. Hear me out. Apparently, it took Hungarians, or the group of people who later became the Hungarians, it took them 1,000 years to get to present-day Hungary from Russia. It's a long-ass fucking time. I'm not a geographist, but it's a long-ass fucking time. And you gotta be fucking drunk that it takes you 1,000 years. Like, just imagine like hurting your drunk friends getting to G-Spot and they're like, oh my god, I need to pee. Oh my god, leave me alone. I just got this beer. Can I just drink it in peace? Oh my god. That's my ex. I need to talk to her immediately. I need to confess my undying love for her. I need to go now. Took them a while. Yeah. I'm grounding myself. So, and then you start to wonder yourself and you like read on history that maybe the person who came up with this was drunk. Have you ever written history? Were you drunk? No. Well then. Yes! Alright, that was a terrible one.
You have to look at the elbow, yeah.
But it doesn't work like this.
Yeah,
Alright. Yeah, there was a story. There were two men. Honor and Magyar. These guys, they just kind of like gathered up a bunch of their buds and they decided to go on a hunt. So, they just kind of like, and then they saw a beautiful stag with their antlers and like fur and like it was very pretty, so they were like, I want that. So they were chasing it for days on end, for a long time. And then they stumbled upon this beautiful field. This was very beautiful, everything was kind of like, ooh. And then they saw some women dancing around a campfire naked. And guess what they did? They left them alone because they're not fucking creeps who would harass women! You wish. Yeah. No, they took them against their will, probably raped them, and yeah, that was not I should not have said that word. I apologize. Anyway, that happened. Consent wasn't really a part of history. However, still isn't. But we're working on it. We're working on it. Grounding myself. Yeah, so these Huns became, Hunars, what's the word? The people who made the children, how did I forget that one? The children of became the Huns. Yeah, laugh at me, this is what we came here for, laugh at me, yes. So, these people became the Huns. You might have heard about them, they had this great leader, Attila. And what the Huns did, they just built up this huge empire, and then it just collapsed. And then the other group of people became the Magyars, who our present-day Hungarians identify most with. So, and then they continued existing as this group of people, and then there was this woman, Emese. And one night, a bird visited her in her tree. And this bird impregnated her with her bird seed and told her that a great river would flow from her womb unto strange lands, and her offspring were conquer that land. Yeah. So, Emese gave birth to a baby boy who became the leader of Hungarians. And one day he decided that he's gonna get us out of this like place that's a little bit even more. And in order to do that, he decided we're gonna cross over this other mountain, the Carpathians, which is around present-day Hungary right now. And remember that bird I talked about just a second ago? This bird, y'all. This bird, basically, they saw the Hungarians struggling, and they were like, oh, I'm gonna help these guys out. They were just like, come guys, follow me. Stop. And the Hungarians saw this bird, and they were like, okay, let's go. New land. Nobody lives there. It's all for us to take it. It's great. Yeah, so they ended up in present-day Hungary. There we go. Wow. Yeah. So this is where the culture is coming in. This is our culture, victimhood. Now I'm going to elaborate on that one. Hungary has this great belief that we're very special because of our language and our fairy tale origin story, that nobody has ever done things that we have done before, that we're special. And it's so not true. It really isn't. We just made it up. But we're going to talk about that later. We're going to, this culture is very much ingrained because we have this like very strong narrative that we've been oppressed throughout history by various other people. And by people, I mean peoples, nations. And the first one was the Mongolians. The Mongolians, they kind of came to Hungary, conquered all of it, and they only stayed for 2 years because their leader back in Mongolia died, and it was a really awkward breakup. They were like, I don't know how to tell you this, but like, I just cannot do this anymore. It's like, I know it hasn't been a long time, and like, you kind of expected more, but like, I have some personal things, and it's not you, it's me, and like, okay, bye. And that was it. And then the Ottoman Empire, the Turkish people, came and conquered some parts of Hungary. And one of the big ingredients or parts of Hungarian cuisine is pork. Now, it's a little known fact that Muslim people don't eat pork, or some of them don't eat pork, not everybody. And Hungarians love to present this as like, yes, we love pork, we love it so much, we cook it all the time. It's because this is what they could do. This is the only thing they could do. It's kind of like that kid in gym class that like falls over his own feet when it's trying to score a goal, and the ball kind of gets through the goalpost, but it's still falling in space, the kid. So you're like, this is exactly how I wanted it. Yeah, that's exactly how I wanted it. This is what Hungarians are very good at. and it's about to get real now. However, there was this narrative at the time in Europe, in Western Europe, that Hungary, Muslim, Turkish people to take over all of Europe and turn everybody into Muslim people. So Hungary was like a celebrated country. They were like, good job, guys. Tap, tap on the shoulder. And Hungary was like, yes, I did it. I'm fulfilling my destiny as a very special nation in this land. And history has a very fucked up way of repeating itself. And I don't know if you remember, in recent memory, Hungary has actually built an actual fence on the southern border to Serbia to prevent people from taking over Europe. And this is so fucked up, I'm not even gonna make a joke about it. And then, after this part of history, the Habsburgs arrived. Give it up for the Habsburgs in Austria, guys! Getting really bored with me, it's gonna get funny in a second.
Sorry, can you speed it up a little bit?
I can maybe.
Please do, there's 2 more other people.
I know, okay. Let's see what we can cut. Alright. We're not gonna talk about Turks, we're gonna talk about the Habsburgs. Yeah, so Hungary was like a national minority, and then the Habsburgs were a little bit like, yeah, Hungarians was like having this like special superiority complex, like, guys, can we have some rights, please? We came here with a bird, we're special. And the Habsburgs were like, okay, fine, whatever. And then the Austro-Hungarian Empire happened, but Hungarians, in Hungary, there were also other nations living who also wanted some rights. And then they were like, guys, can we have some rights, please, too? And Hungarians are like, do you have a bird? No rights for you. And the Soviet Union happened, they were oppressing us, and then the European Union happened, they're oppressing us by requiring Hungary to keep up some human rights, some pesky human rights, who needs them, whatever. And this is the joke that we can cut now. I'm really trying, I've never been helpful from backstage. Fun victim complex because Hungary's history was written by racists. Racists who wrote history to justify their oppressive politics. And they used to fire up the very easily impressionable crowds. I forgot to mention this, it's not gonna make any sense. Anyway, there are lessons to be learned here. There are lessons to be learned, like everywhere. Which is, so as totally fucked as Hungarian history is, the lesson is that history is going to keep repeating itself because history is a teacher. It's not going to leave us alone until we learn our lessons and until we're able to hold ourselves accountable and are censors for all the stupid things that they did. And then maybe one day, we're not going to be relying on a fucking bird to lead us to where we need to be.